That is Egyptian satirist Bassem Youssef on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Stewart was an inspiration for Youssef to abandon his career as a heart surgeon, and he started hosting a comedy show in Egypt during the 2011 Arab Spring.
Bernameg, or The Program, became one of the most watched shows in the Middle East, drawing an estimated 30 million weekly viewers. But Youssef shut it down in 2014, citing political pressure and safety concerns for his family. He now lives in California. His new web series, The Democracy Handbook, explores American political issues, including guns.
So what's the best thing about being Muslim-free?
We sold a bunch of really great stuff. For instance, we came up with our bumper stickers. It says, warning, this car is a MFZ. Now, we didn't necessarily want to spell out Muslim-free zone because that would be car bomb territory, right?
That would be the only reason, yeah.
We produced our ISIS hunting permits. It says no tagging required, no bagging limits.
That's so funny.
We worked with a company to create the Mohammed targets. Realistic-looking jihadis, but we taped the San Bernardino shooters' faces on them, and they started selling even better.
Mohammed target for $3, Mohammed with crotch shot.
For $5, yeah.
Oh, my.
Would have been interesting being a fly on the wall during. Bassem Youssef, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Can I just say that 2016, you picked an interesting year to come to America.
Yeah,
it
is.
To examine so many different issues.
I mean, if the election was a Broadway play, you guys be making a lot of money. People coming in and buying tickets. I mean, it's one way to profit out of this mess.
So, what do you make of you saw obviously so much turmoil and strife.
Yes.
Where you came from, and by the way, switched careers dramatically, and now you come here. I mean, we're not equating these two countries in any way necessarily, but this is a fascinating time to be a new visitor in this country.
Yeah, it's great. And the thing is, when I went out in the field and I spoke, for example, to Trump supporters, and it kind of like resonated with me because I heard the same exact things back home with the empty, fake patriotism, demagogic speeches, empty rhetoric. It's as if like we are talking in an echo chamber. It doesn't make sense, and but it does for them.
But you actually said that it wouldn't maybe such be a bad thing if he was elected president. Why'd you say that?
Well, I maybe meant that it's not the worst thing because I'm not worried about Trump. I'm worried about what's behind Trump. I mean, Trump is one person, but the support that he has masked what he is coming from. I mean, if Trump is saying racist, stupid stuff out of making a show, there are other people in his party, in the Republican Party, who said this out of conviction. I mean, the stuff that Marco Rubio and Ben Carson and Ted Cruz said about Arabs are even worse.
Well, that's one of your objectives is to counter stereotypes against Muslims and Arabs. How are you doing that?
Well, basically, maybe telling people that we are human beings, everybody. and the thing is, what is happening now to us is not new. Because it happened before to the Jews, it happened before to the Japanese, the Mexicans, the African Americans. There's always an LGBT community. There's always need a victim, somebody to hate. I don't know where you're gonna go after Arabs because we are kind of like you hit rock bottom now. I don't know if there's gonna be a day we can hand the baton to someone else who had hate.
But you need. Don't say that.
I think people who use hate and anger and xenophobia as a speech, they need someone to put the hate on, to blame someone.
I was able to watch some of your episodes, that you're taping here in the United States for your new series. And I have to ask you, how do you keep it together interviewing some of these people? I mean, we showed a clip there of you interviewing that gun store owner.
And he had no idea I was an Arab Muslim.
He had no idea. How do you keep it together like that?
Why do they submit?
Well, I think he asked me, like, where are you from? So I said, half Italian. He didn't ask about my other half. But he was saying all these horrible things about Arabs and Muslims. Like, yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like I let him hang himself. With his own words. I mean, this is the thing what you do with hateful people. You just let them speak and expose themselves. Apparently, it's working for some candidates. It's
well, we've talked a lot about Republicans now, but Hillary Clinton has a trustworthy issue.
Yes.
How are you dealing with that?
Well, I think the whole thing with the scandals,
the emails,
the emails. I don't know, guys. I mean, you're spending a year and a half to know a candidate. You already know from the get-go. Maybe you should learn from my part of the world.
Canadians do it in a month, and we do it in
No, but like, you know, but
2 years.
my part of the world, a guy with a couple of tanks, guns, he gets in power and he stays there for life. It's much cheaper this way. You are spending billions of dollars on elections
Well,
that, you know.
how is it different between the United States and Europe, or in Egypt right now?
But that's exactly
It's
what I told you.
Speaking
Like a
of-
life presidency that we
Yeah.
call his first term.
And speaking of your part of the world, I mean, you left there because you were basically tired of the threat. You were forced off television.
Yeah.
You're here now in the United States. It's got to stick with you. Have you been back at all to Egypt?
No, I haven't. I always say it's like Hotel California. You can check in anytime you want, but you can never leave. I don't know. It's just like it's very unpredictable. And you know, I'm kind of like put that behind me, and now I'm starting a new career and in a new space. And I think what I want to there's two things that I want to achieve with this new show. First of all, is to have people think about topics in depth, in a different way, from a different perspective. And the second, which is more important, is that I'm an outsider. I'm Middle Eastern with a very obvious accent. I hope people would accept me to talk about their issues, which I find it very generous for you guys, but I hope that people will accept this show.
I appreciate the heart check in the green room earlier, too, as a
Yes.
former
Yeah, I gotta get
cardiologist.
that.
Bassem Youssef, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. The Democracy Handbook web series debuts Thursday, July 14th on Fusion.net, and then a TV special airs July 17th on Fusion's cable network.